Stop everything you are doing right now, H-Town, because we just got a massive look inside the draft war room that changes everything we thought about this year's haul. Nick Caserio was playing absolute chess while the rest of the league was playing checkers, and we almost robbed the Baltimore Ravens blind in broad daylight. This is the kind of aggressive energy that makes us the most dangerous team in the AFC right now. We are building a certified tribe here, and we are so close to hitting 4,000 subscribers, so hit that button and drop your name. Look, we all know Nick Caserio is a straight-up savage when it comes to the trade market, and he is basically addicted to the phones when the draft clock is ticking. This year was no different because he was making moves every single day of the draft to get his guys like Keelan Rutledge and Caden McDonald. But the real story that just leaked out of Baltimore is enough to make your jaw drop. Imagine the scene inside the Ravens' war room on day 2 when they were staring at pick 59 and realizing they had to deal with the most calculated general manager in the business. The Ravens' social team released a video, and it clearly shows Eric DeCosta sweating over a potential deal with our Texans. They wanted to move up from pick 80 specifically to grab a center because they were terrified of losing out on Logan Jones or Jake Slaughter. But Caserio wasn't just going to give that pick away for some loose change or a late-round flyer. He was demanding a king's ransom that would have absolutely gutted the middle of Baltimore's draft class. We are talking about a package that included a 3rd-round pick, a 4th-rounder, and a 5th-round pick just to move up 21 spots. Can you even imagine the audacity of that move? Our front office was basically holding the draft board hostage and telling the Ravens that if they wanted their guy, they had to pay a premium price. DeCosta actually said it was a hard decision because he realized he would be losing 3 impact players just for one guy. That is the respect this franchise commands now, and I love every single second of it. Think about the pressure in that room when Caserio is on the other end of the line telling you exactly what it costs to do business with the Texans. Do you think the Ravens were scared to pull the trigger because they knew we would use those picks to bury them later? It is that competitive edge that separates us from the teams that are just happy to be there. We are out here hunting for every single advantage and trying to stockpile talent while the competition is playing it safe and second-guessing themselves every step of the way, and we love to see it happen. Now, I want you to really lean in and listen to how crazy this gets because the names involved in this potential haul are absolutely ridiculous. If the Ravens had actually folded and given Caserio what he wanted, we would have walked away with a massive injection of young talent that could have reshaped the depth of this roster. When you look at the players that those specific picks eventually became, it starts to feel like a missed opportunity for a total heist. We are talking about USC wide receiver Jacoby Lane, Indiana standout Elijah Sarrett, and that lockdown cornerback from Duke, Chandler Rivers. Just take a second to visualize that in your head right now. We already had 4 picks in the top 70, and then we would have added 3 more high-quality prospects into the mix. That is a level of draft equity that most teams only dream about, but it was right there on the table. But here is the raw truth that they don't want you to know, because even though the trade fell through, it shows exactly how the Texans operate. We don't settle for mediocre deals, and we don't let other teams bully us into moving back for nothing. When the Ravens decided the price was too high, Caserio didn't blink or lower his asking price one bit. He simply stayed right there at 59 and took Marlin Klein, the tight end from Michigan, because he knew exactly what he was doing. It creates this incredible tension when you realize how close we were to having 3 extra players on this team. Does it make you nervous to think we missed out on that extra depth, or does it make you proud that our GM refuses to get fleeced? I honestly feel like this is a win-win situation because it proves we are the ones setting the market price in this league. The Ravens were the ones who had to walk away with their tails between their legs because they couldn't afford to dance with us. It is a certified nightmare for the rest of the AFC North when they realize we are this aggressive. Every single move Caserio makes is designed to put us in a position of power, and even the trades that don't happen tell a story of a team that is ready to dominate this entire sport. I am seriously losing my mind thinking about what that training camp would have looked like with Jacoby Lane and Elijah Sarrett running routes for us. It is unbelievable to think about the level of competition that would have brought to the wide receiver room. But let's talk about the reality of what we actually got, because Marlin Klein is a beast in his own right. When you look at his tape from Michigan, you see a guy who fits the culture we are building here in Houston. He is gritty, and he has that lunch pail mentality that DeMeco Ryans demands from every single player who puts on that helmet. So while it is fun to play the what-if game, we have to remember that sticking at 59 gave us a player who actually wants to be here and fits the scheme perfectly. The Ravens were desperate for a center like Logan Jones or Jake Slaughter, and they ended up missing out on both of them because they were too scared to pay our price. That is a massive failure on their part and a huge psychological victory for us. I have a theory that Caserio knew exactly how much the Ravens valued those guys, and he pushed the price tag just high enough to see if they would break. That is the insider edge that we have over every other fan base, because we know our management isn't just making picks, they are playing psychological warfare. It is the kind of stuff that makes me so proud to be part of this community, because we are finally the ones holding all the cards. Seriously, when was the last time the Texans were the ones dictating terms to a perennial contender like Baltimore? It feels different this year, and you can sense the shift in the atmosphere around the facility. We are no longer the team that people can just call up and expect a bargain. If you want to move into our territory, you better be ready to pay up and give us your future. I want you to think about that next time someone tries to tell you that the draft is just about luck. It is about strategy and nerves of steel, and we clearly have the best in the business leading the charge for our entire city every single year. Unbelievable is the only word I can use to describe the feeling of seeing our front office stand their ground like that. Seriously, I am sitting here thinking about how many other teams would have folded and just taken a fourth rounder to move back. But not our guys, not Nick Caserio. He saw the Ravens' desperation, and he tried to turn it into a total franchise-altering haul. It is that kind of killer instinct that has been missing for years, and now it is finally back. I have been hearing some whispers that this wasn't the only time during the draft that Caserio tried to pull off something this massive. It seems like he was testing the waters with several teams to see who was willing to overpay for a specific spot. That is the secret to his success, because he never enters a negotiation from a position of weakness. He knows he has a roster that is already talented, and he knows he doesn't have to make a trade just for the sake of making one. That is a level of confidence that should terrify the rest of the league. I am losing my mind just thinking about the possibilities if even one of these massive trades had gone through. But even without the extra picks, we still came out of this draft looking like a powerhouse. We got the guys we wanted, and we forced our rivals to stay stuck in their positions. It is a masterclass in management, and it makes me so incredibly hyped for the regular season to finally get here. I want to know if you guys think we should have lowered the price a little bit just to get those extra bodies in the building. Or are you like me, and you love the fact that we are the ones being the bullies for once? It is a completely different era for the Texans, and we are all lucky enough to be here to witness it. We are building something special, and every single one of these stories that leaks out just confirms that we are headed for something legendary. The vibe in the city is electric, and it is all because we have a front office that finally knows how to play the game at the highest level possible. When you look at the big picture, it is clear that the Houston Texans are no longer a team that can be ignored or taken lightly. We are a force to be reckoned with, and our front office is leading the charge with an aggressive style that has the entire league on notice. This failed trade with the Ravens isn't a story of what we lost, but a story of the power we now possess. We are setting the price for success, and if other teams can't offer it, then they can just stay in the basement while we climb to the top of the mountain. I can see a future where this team is consistently making deep playoff runs, because we have the discipline to stick to our board and the guts to ask for everything in a trade. The future is so bright in H-Town that it is almost blinding, and I want every single one of you to be there with us when we finally hold that trophy up. But right now I need to hear from the real ones. I want to see your fire in the comments below, because your voice is what drives this channel and this community. Was Nick Caserio right to demand such a massive haul, or should he have taken a smaller deal to get more players? Is this the year we finally show the world that the Texans are the new kings of the AFC, or are we still one piece away? I am reading every single comment, and I want to see the passion that only this fan base can provide. We are chasing 4,000 subscribers, and we are almost there, so make sure you hit that button and join the tribe if you haven't already. This is our team, and this is our time, and I am not going anywhere until we see this through to the end. Thank you for being part of the most electric community in football, and for always showing up for the boys in deep steel blue and winning. Texans Nation.